Hello everybody, my name is Dan with the Maximum U, and I'm here to give you a brief explanation as to the types of surgeries you can that are available to you at the obesity clinics of Monterrey. Now, we are talking about a clinic in Monterrey, Mexico, and the surgeon that works there is the foremost in his field. He actually represents his nation. When doctors get together from around the world to talk about this subject, he represents the entire nation of Mexico. He is, like I said, one of the foremost surgeons, but it's become apparent to me that some people have questions with regards to what the surgeries look like, what actually happens, what's the difference between a lap band and a gastric bypass, or what is this new thing that we hear called the gastric sleeve? What is the difference? What are the differences? And I'm here to show you some diagrams and tell you about my experience at the clinic and in Mexico. And I'll be brief about the explanation of the experience in the clinic in Mexico. I want to focus more on the details of the actual surgery. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see what we got here still. All right. Also, if you want to visit the website for yourself, it's in Spanish. They are based out of Monterrey, Mexico. You can just look right down here at the scrolling band and take a look for yourself. All right, first of all, excuse me, somebody's paging me here. First of all, let's go ahead and talk about the gastric band. This is very popular here in the United States, and it's also very safe. It's very affordable, and basically it's reversible too. You can basically go into the hospital, have this done, and be out of there the same day, pretty much. And basically what they do is they tie a rubber band filled with water around the top of your stomach so that only this part of your stomach right here is used. And that fills up real quick. So maybe you could eat a small sandwich or something like that, and that's about it. You're not going to be able to put down a whole pizza like I used to be able to. And this little tube right here is a water tube, which they arrange that in such a way that they can open you up in the doctor's office, put some water in you to tighten this or loosen it as needed. So they could put water in or take it out, and this whole thing is reversible. They can yank it out at any time. There's been very few problems with this surgery, very few complications. We all hear the bad stuff about complications. We all hear it's this and that. The truth of the matter is the doctors are on top of that. That's why they keep you in the hospital for 3 days, to make sure that there are no complications. I mean, so this one has the fewest. I don't think there's ever been any deaths with regards to this particular surgery or any serious illnesses or anything like that. So it's very, very safe. And I'm going to be absolutely 100% real with you when I talk about statistics and I play with numbers. I'm going to be 100% real with you. I'm not going to candy coat it. All right. This surgery at the obesity clinic of Monterrey, including a 3-day hospital stay. Now get this 3-day hospital stay and a 6-day hotel stay, under $10,000. All of the surgeries that I'm going to mention, including a 3-day hospital stay and a hotel stay, under $10,000, which is a steal, compared to what they would be here in the United States. Now, don't get me wrong, the surgeons here in the United States are good, and you can get this operation done here in the United States, but I mean, at 3 times the cost. So, and if there's financing available down in Mexico, so the choice is yours. Next, we have what they call a gastric sleeve, which is the surgery that I had done. Now, this surgery originally started as a halfway point between the gastric bypass. Basically, what they do is they staple up your stomach right along this ray, and then they cut the unused portion of your stomach, leaving only this about 1/4 of your available stomach capacity. Now, as it stands right now, I used to be able to eat a large pizza. Now, maybe I can eat 1 slice, and I'm going to detail in another video called the Rule of One, my own personal philosophy and rule with regards to what I eat when I'm not eating the most nutritious food. However, basically what this does is it only allows for 1/4 of your stomach's capacity. You have your stomach's about the size of an egg, maybe a little bit bigger at the end of this, and you can only drink and eat so much, and then you get full. And you have to be careful. You have to be careful. If I've done this a couple of times where you accidentally eat a bite too much or you overeat, you start to salivate, and eventually you will regurgitate. That's your body's way of saying you ate too much. But just if you eat slowly, nibble, take little bites, chew it up, get all the flavor sensation that you can out of it, and you'll be just fine. But they figured this out to be a halfway point between the gastric bypass. The gastric bypass is the most extreme surgery for weight loss. But what they would do is for people who are in poor health, who they did not want to keep under anesthesia for very long, for fear of complication, they would do this simpler procedure. Cut them loose. You'd cut them loose for 6 months. And say, come back in 6 months and we'll do the rest of the bypass. Well, what they were finding out is that these patients that had the gastric sleeve would lose 100 pounds in that 6 months, and they were like halfway to their goal. They were almost there, and the health problems had subsided, and this and that, and they found that they didn't need the bypass anymore. They didn't need to disconnect the reroute the intestines or anything like that. Their cholesterol was down, their blood pressure was down, their diabetes was going away. So they said, let's actually put our heads together and make this a viable, its own viable surgical alternative to the gastric bypass. And that's what they did. All the doctors in Mexico, some in Europe and some in Latin America, got together and they met and they said, let's do this. Now, about a year after I had this done, the doctor that performed the surgery represented the nation of Mexico in a kind of a grand council of physicians and surgeons who are experts in this particular subject matter. And he said, we've been doing this for years, it works. And he even used me as an example of the success that can be achieved with this particular surgery. And then the United States said, we're a little late on the draw here, but we're going to go ahead and approve this surgery. And then you started seeing gastric sleeve surgeries popping up here in the United States. This surgery, also $10,000, including a three-day hospital visit and a 6-day hotel stay. Very, very effective. All right, the next one we're going to talk about is the gastric bypass. Let me go ahead and click this up here. And this is kind of funky. People don't really realize exactly what this is. Okay, the food comes down here, and they staple this part up. They leave your stomach intact. Sometimes they do. Not all the time. In this particular diagram, they do. They staple up, and they create a pouch. They disconnect your lower intestine, and they plug your, they disconnect your upper intestine, and they plug your lower intestine in its place. And what that effectively does, not only does it minimize the amount of food that you can keep in your stomach at one time, what it also does is that the lower intestine is not able to fully digest the sugars and the fats that you take in. So basically your body doesn't get that sugar, your body doesn't get that fat. Your cholesterol normals out, your blood sugar normals out, and everything like that. This is recommended for the most extreme cases where people are in very bad health and they're going to die if they do not do something. This is what's recommended. And you can't help but lose weight on this diet. First of all, you're on this surgery. First of all, your pouch is only, you can only maybe eat a cup of food. That's it, a cup. Anything that'll fit into 8 ounces, you can eat that, and that's all. You're done. You're done for that sitting. And then it goes down here. The fats and the sugars aren't absorbed. Problem with this is where they've had a lot of the complications and stuff like that. You get so many staples moving around in here. Sometimes you get leakage. Sometimes you get things like that. But they've got it down to such a science that the complications are minimal. Again, that's why they keep you in the hospital for 3 days, to make sure that there's no leaking, no complications, no infection, none of that stuff. Okay, now, as a consequence of not being able to absorb the fats, you're also not able to absorb the nutrients as well, so they require you to take a multivitamin, and they're required by law to inform you of this, both in Mexico and the United States. And people with severe diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol, in 1 month's time, all their numbers go down to close to normal, if not normal. This surgery is also $10,000, including a 3-day hospital stay and the hotel stay down in Monterrey, Mexico. By far, though, the most popular surgery is the gastric sleeve, which is what I had done. That's what he recommends. That's what he specializes with. It's safe. It's affordable. It doesn't take very long, and that's what they do. They do it very well. That's their specialty. So at any rate, I just wanted to kind of detail exactly what the surgeries are, what they look like on the diagram, and tell you a little bit about my own experience. And that's pretty much, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video now. Again, if you check out this scroll right here, you can see the website. It's obesidadicirugías.com. It is a firm based in Monterrey, Mexico, and the website is in Spanish. But if you want to contact me with any details, I will be happy to share my experience and my stories with you. I also have a Skype account if you want to get together on Skype, and I will be happy to talk to you personally, one-on-one, and tell you about my experience. It was a somewhat frightening experience in that I'm letting go of the old me, but it was also very exciting and very spiritual in that I'm going to begin to live my life the way I was supposed to live it from day one. And I'm very enthusiastic about this. I want to help the doctor. I also want to help you, because my life has been changed. And if I don't spread the news, then what kind of person am I if I don't help people live their lives, help them be the maximum, help you be the maximum you that you can be? What kind of person am I if I don't help you? So I want to help you, and I'll be happy to meet with you privately on Skype. I'll be happy to give you any information that I can possibly give you with regards to this surgery. And I want to help you be the maximum you. God bless you. You guys be good, and hopefully I'll hear from you.